All right, hello everybody, and welcome back. This is Dennis Harg, and I'm one of the founders of Connecticut Wealth Management. And Kevin Leahy is with us again as well, also a co-founder, and he's the president and CEO of Connecticut Wealth Management. And we have a good friend of our firm with us this morning, Margaret Hann, who is the executive director of the Bridge Family Center in West Hartford. They've been around for a long time, since 1969. Providing services to the community, to families and children in the community. And I guess probably rather than have me describe what it is that you folks do, Margaret, why don't you, if you wouldn't mind, share a little bit about what it is that the Bridge Family Center does.
Good morning, Margaret.
Absolutely. Yeah, here we go. I don't know. I've never done this part before. Anyway, again, thank you so much for inviting me here today to talk to all of you. We really appreciate that. And just a shout out to Connecticut Wealth Management for their ongoing support of the Bridge. Thank you very, very much. The Bridge has been around since 1969. I'll give you my elevator speech. We serve over 8,000 children and families every year. We have about an $8.3 million budget. A lot of that funding comes through the Department of Children and Families. We have 47 residential beds that serve kids that aren't able to live at home. Some of those are more short-term programs, and some of them are more long-term programs. We have a scattered site apartment program that serves older adolescents that are able to live in their own apartments with enough case management and support to help them develop the skills that they need to live independently. We also have a family resource center at Charter Oak Academy, which is absolutely beautiful. It's in they dedicated a space for us when they built the school. It is what I call my happy place, where so many wonderful things happen with all of our families and children and play groups. And it's really like a trip to the United Nations. When you go there, there are families from all different walks of life and ethnicities. And it's a wonderful, warm, welcoming spot. We also have 3 mental health clinics, which have been incredibly busy with this current crisis. They're based in Rockville, Avon, and in West Hartford. And soon, in July, we'll be opening up a 4th clinic on Shield Street and on the Elmwood section of West Hartford to deepen our services in that area of town. We have about 161 staff across all of our programs, which keeps us very, very busy right now, trying to make sure that they have all the PPE equipment that they need to perform their jobs and carry out the mission of the Bridge. That's kind of we have a wonderful board of directors. We have 16 people that sit on our board that are policymakers and leaders and give their time, their talent, and their treasure to our organization. And we are very thankful for all of their help and support, especially during this difficult time.
So Margaret, that, I think every time we hear what you guys do, we're humbled by, there's not one bit of what you said that seems like it's very easy in a normal environment, right? It's truly God's work, I suppose. It's got to be that much harder right now, right? In the pandemic. So how has this new environment changed the way I can't imagine it's in a good way, like all of us. The impact has been really, really considerable, I imagine. How has it changed the way that you guys, what you do, how you do it?
Well, it's interesting that you say that. I can't imagine how anyone could say that something good came out of this pandemic when you have this many people that have lost their lives, lost family members, lost their jobs. What the Bridge has done over the years has prepared us to respond to this pandemic in a very thoughtful way. And I'm very proud of that. I've always prided, the Bridge has always prided itself on its agility. We are big enough to be able to shift gears when we need to and be able to absorb some of those costs because of the generosity of our donors. The Bridge has to raise almost $700,000 a year to make our mission come together. Those discretionary funds, if you will, allow us to move quickly when we need to. And that's never been more important than it is now. The other piece is that one of the things that I discovered in '98 when I became executive director is the Bridge is a business. Nonprofits are businesses. They have to be run with business like a business. They have to keep an eye on your bottom line. You have to make sure that your workforce is taken care of, that you're current with all the state and federal laws, and that you stay current with technology, and that, so that you can interface with other people and get by in the world that we live in today. And that has helped us tremendously. Many of our staff know how to work remotely anyway. We took our IT function in-house last year. We have a full-time IT manager. He's been absolutely invaluable to us. We were immediately able to go from seeing clients in our clinic to a telehealth platform within a week. So those clients didn't skip a beat. They were able, if they had the technology, which many of them do, and either on their cell phone or through their computer, we were able to continue their care at a time when they needed us the most. And also when we're able to accept people into the bridge now, and we are continually getting referrals. For those people that didn't have the technology, we still offered face-to-face contact with social distancing in place. Also, that we reached out to them on the phone. If they didn't want to do a face-to-face thing, we talked to them. So we were there. We didn't step away. Our tagline is every family, every child, every time. And I have to tell you, in the last 8 weeks, I've lost count how far we're into this. That has never been more prominent than it is today. We have stood up, leaned in, done everything that we needed to do to take care of our clients during this time.
I would imagine, as you were saying, you're running a business. It's a not-for-profit business, but you're running a business. So I would imagine the fundraising challenge has perhaps become more challenging. And I know that I think you said earlier that you run a June 30 fiscal year. What sort of challenges are you facing right now? And, how are you approaching some of those challenges? Just the funding. I have to imagine that the state is, the funding you get from the state might be a little bit at risk right now, as it has the past couple of years. So how are you folks approaching just the challenge of managing the operation?
That's a very good question. It's always a challenge. There's never a time when you work in a nonprofit and when fundraising is not a big challenge. One of the things that we started the Bridge Family Emergency Fund right away, within the first week of the pandemic, and posted that on our website, put it on Facebook, and reached out to the people that support the Bridge and asked them to donate to a fund that would go directly to supporting families in need. And we've probably raised a little over, pretty close to $4,000 right now in that fund, which I think is substantial considering we have a lot of donors that we've raised almost $200,000 in our regular donor base anyway, just from individual gifts. So we're very cognizant of going to the well too many times, but people have really stepped up. And then they've either donated cash so that we can purchase gift cards for our families, or our people have donated the gift cards themselves, and then those get dispersed to the families that need them. Looking ahead, we have our big annual event in January. It's 350 people. Is the Bridge going to be ready to do that? Is that something that is something we're starting to plan for already? Will that go to a different type of format? We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we also want to have a vision that we can plan strategically. And that's a big impact. We raised $250,000 at that event. So if that goes away or changes dramatically, that will have an impact on us. Businesses, a lot of businesses have been impacted with the pandemic. We ask businesses to support our annual event. And if they're not able to, some of them might not even be around. So that's a very kind of scary thing for us to think about. But it's something we have to think about and that we're already preparing for.
And Margaret, it's a crowded space, right? I imagine you're not the only not-for-profit that is really important, right, to their community and to the world, and you're all competing in many ways, I imagine, for a lot of the same dollars, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I can't imagine, to your point, if you're in the not-for-profit space, you're always looking for money, I suppose, right? You're always battling the same battles. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
So what, I think one of the questions Dennis and I always like to ask of, what can somebody do now? So again, we're big fans of, for obvious reasons, you can't listen to the description of what you do and say, yeah, I'm not interested, right? That doesn't matter. If you are a supporter, want to be a supporter, you want to help an organization, whether it's the Bridge or maybe an organization like it, what can somebody do now? How can I help? How can somebody help?
But if you, our website, bridgefamilycenter.org, has a donate now button. You can go on there. There's also ways for you to donate to the Bridge Emergency Family Fund. That's also on our website. Our families and children need us now more than ever. This is not a time for the Bridge to even take a baby step backwards. We have to keep moving forward and stronger and with more resilience than ever during this crisis. My strong feeling with this is that when the dust starts to settle a little bit, the aftermath from what families will be feeling, a lot of people have been triggered with their post-traumatic stress issues with this crisis. Anyway, we deal with a lot of people with anxiety and depression. Nothing impacts you more. I mean, besides loss of a loved one or a job loss, those folks will be needing us now more than ever. I suspect that the demand for our services will be heightened to a point that I don't think I will have seen in my career. That's my prediction. So the way to support the Bridge now is if you want to go on our website and donate money so that we can continue our mission and deepen what we do, because we're certainly needed. I guess the other side of that is, besides just supporting the Bridge, support your local community efforts. If you can volunteer, if you know neighbors. I have a 91-year-old mom that lives in Michigan. And between my brother and her neighbor, we put her on lockdown, basically. You're not allowed to leave. And they do all of her grocery shopping for her. And that has been incredible. So if you have a neighbor that might need something, be thinking about those people, because this is a time when we all need each other more than ever.
Amen. Amen. That's awesome. I think one of the cruel aspects of this whole pandemic is the increase of people in need, your clients. And at the same time, you're seeing funding being reduced. So it's like you have this increase of demand for your services, but it's harder than ever to actually provide them because of the financing that's starting to become more of a challenge. So as a reminder, that is bridgefamilycenter.org. Click on the donate button. Margaret, thank you so much. I know as we were talking before we started recording, know how busy you are, and we appreciate all the work that you folks do. It's awesome. I think you are one of the hidden gems here in Central Connecticut that I wish more people knew about you. We feel it's one of our goals is to have more people learn about what Bridge Family Centers does. And so thank you for taking the time and having this brief conversation with us this morning. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything. All right. And we'll talk.
Thank you. Stay healthy and stay safe.
You too, Margaret. And thank you for what you do and for what your whole team does.
I'd like to just expand on that for one split second. We have the best staff on earth. I mean, you guys think your staff's great. Our staff is just as good. They have risen to the occasion like I have never seen before. I mean, they are just an amazing, amazing group of people.
Awesome.
God
all right.
Bless you all.
Yeah. Thanks, Margaret. Appreciate it. Have a nice day. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.